See, we are in the volleyball locker room with volleyball head coach Travis Hudson, and a unique opportunity here as we get to go over a couple pieces of film and dive into the game of, or dig into the game of volleyball, I guess you could say. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm good, good.
And I got the benefit of getting a little bit of a run through here before we started this, but if we can get this play to run through, it's against Purdue here at home when Purdue was number 8, big win for the program and for yourself. So if we can play this one through, and this is a successful play for the volleyball team.
Purdue's serving right here. Haley did a really good job of being aggressive, so they don't dig that ball very cleanly. And so you can see they're not able to put an attack on the ball.
Okay, so we end in a kill by Jessica Lucas. And if we can go back to the beginning, Coach, before the serve is served by Purdue, and you're talking about how important this front line is with Jessica, Haley, and Noelle. Can you explain that for us a little bit?
Well, we have a rotation that they have to start in, a serving order that we have to keep. Once the ball's put in play, you'll see them slide over to their offensive position. And you can see that here. Once that ball is on its way to Jess, you can see we have Haley out here on the left side now. We have Noelle sliding in the middle, and then Jess is our setter, so she's always handling that second ball, and she's right there on the right side. Everything has a tempo to it, so you can see right here, Noelle's going to run what we call a fade, or it's a 1 here in the middle of the court, and then Haley is going to run a ball all the way out here to the pin. It's really important with big blockers that you try to spread the net out, you know, so you get those blockers moving laterally and they have a hard time setting a good block. Even if Jess decided to set this ball, you can see she's occupied one of the blockers right here because Jackie did a great job of pushing that ball up. And since she's occupied one, if she decided to set that ball to Noelle, Noelle would be in a one-on-one situation and Haley would be in a one-on-one situation out here on this pin, which puts us at a huge advantage. Jackie does a great job of pushing it up, and so you can see Jess turning into it, and you can see Jess's hands on the ball right there before that kid gets the opportunity. And so that puts her at a huge advantage, and you can see that she presses that ball down, and we end up winning the point just because Jackie did a really, really good job of driving it all the way up to the net.
This play, not as successful. It's going to end, if we can play it through one time, okay. It's going to end right here in this right corner with a missed dig by Kaylin, but we talked about it a little bit before. It goes a lot deeper than that. So Kaylin misses this dig, but if we rewind, you have this big seam, and that goes back to the scouting report.
Volleyball's an execution sport. You really got to execute. And we talked about passing earlier, and you can see this play gets off to a bad start because of a 1 pass by Georgia. She doesn't get this ball up to Jess, and so we're already at a huge disadvantage because of that pass. And you can see we just kind of have to chip one into them, and now they're in control of the point. And this play, as it unfolds, you may think that it's, you know, Kaylin Grimes didn't do her job right here as a defender, and we certainly would like Kaylin to dig that ball. She's capable of doing that, but there were a series of breakdowns here that led to her being in that position. We instructed Heather on perfect pass situations to follow Annie Drews. And you can see here the first breakdown, although it looks like it's Kaylin, but the first breakdown is you can see Heather actually moving to her right. So now when the ball's pushed back there, you can see that giant seam in the block that you absolutely can't give a player of Annie Drews' caliber. And then breakdown number 2, we have a rule here, when you get isolated one-on-one as a blocker, Alyssa Cavanaugh, most hitters when they're one-on-one are going to attack the ball cross court.
And she should know at what point that she's going to be one-on-one.
In that perfect pass situation right there, as soon as she sees that, she's assuming one-on-one. The only thing that would lead her to believe otherwise is if she feels Heather right there beside her. So Alyssa should be thinking, I'm going to load up, and when she swings, I'm going to jump and finish into the court right here. What Alyssa does is actually jump out with her hips and then just kind of wave her hands back to the inside. What's hard is the ball is traveling that direction. You see the ball moving that way, so you start waving with your hands that way as well. What we talk about is we don't want you to block the ball. We don't want you to block where the ball is. We want you to block where the ball is going to be. Right. And if it's the ball is right there on her hand, but where the ball is going to be when it crosses the net is about where that red dot is. And so it's important that Alyssa load up and finish to the inside, and if she does that, she's going to be about right there, which is right in the path of that ball. And so, you know, this is one of those times where it looks like, you know, Kaylin Grimes didn't make the play, but it was really 2 blocking errors at the net that cost us that particular point.